drivers. Here's what I don't understand. How are you still supporting MAGA and Trump after all we know about his disastrous one big beautiful bill? And yeah, I know there is an overwhelming amount of MAGA support in the trucking community. I know this. I'm not talking to those folks because really, there's no conversation with them. You've heard me talk about that before. There's nothing but Trump says it, and I believe it with those folks. So I'm not talking to those guys. I'm not talking to those folks who drink the Kool-Aid. So I'm not talking to those guys. I'm not talking to those folks who drink the Kool-Aid. I'm talking to the ones who fell into the trap of Biden causing fuel prices to soar. Meanwhile, those hasn't gone down under Trump now, have they? Knowing that presidents don't control fuel. They don't control gas. They don't control the amount of oil per barrel. They don't control that unless they open up the reserves. So that's number one. But let me get back to what I was talking about. I'm not talking to those guys who say Trump is the be-all, end-all. I'm talking to the ones that fell into that trap. The ones that fell into that trap of lies, that rabbit hole of untruths that sounded great at the time but are still falling short outside of illegal executive orders and strong-arming by this administration. So what does the one big beautiful bill do for the truck driver? Well, apparently it allows permanent and expanded tax deductions, allowing individual tax relief, which means more take-home pay for drivers. It says support for family-owned businesses. That's what they're boasting. It says safer roads because of the removal of non-English proficient drivers, which I don't really understand how that makes the road safer, but okay. So overall, the bill for truckers is designed to create a more favorable tax regulatory environment for businesses, including those in our industry, with the goal of stimulating investment, growth, and job creation. However, on the other hand, and I have to bring it up, with all that said, of these quote-unquote positives that you read about in the big beautiful bill, with all that said, many of us may not have jobs because of the recessionary tariffs that Donald Trump has put on us. So, perhaps see you in the unemployment line. Oh, by the way, have you seen the polls on the support of this bill? Even Fox News' poll is unfavorable on the... Fox News! Their poll is unfavorable on the bill. Every economic strategist, every economic professional, anyone with the slightest bit of economic understanding sees that this bill is harmful to the growth of our economy. When it's adding nearly $5 trillion of debt. Hell, We have representatives writing letters to the Senate, and the Senate writing letters to the House asking, damn near begging, fix the bill. This is GOP I'm talking about. They're asking each other to, in other words, bail them out of this bill, and neither one of them are doing it. Yet they're all saying yes to the bill, even though they know it's a disaster. And you guys still, truckers, you guys still are in support of them. You guys are still in support, knowing that it's a bad idea. Everyone's saying it's a bad idea. You have Republicans saying it's a bad idea. You have economic professionals saying it's a bad idea. Your own representatives are saying it's a bad idea, yet they're still voting yes on the bill. And you're still supporting what they're doing. They're laughing in your face, and you're saying, thanks, do it again. You want to blame Biden for everything. You want to blame Obama for everything. Meanwhile, your GOP, your representatives in Congress, both the House and the Senate, and your executive branch, your president, our president, is continually to lie in your face, saying there's no tips on this. By the way, well, maybe I'll leave that for another. No one's for this bill. No one is. But yet they continue to tell us lies that it's going to be beneficial for you and I. Our representatives are doing this to us. And you drivers continue to support this. Even though you will literally be affected. The tariffs alone should have you guys, here's what, 2 years ago, a year ago, whenever it was, you guys did that stupid trucker convoy. You guys do them for any and everything. But when you really need them, mum's the word, right? Hit the subscribe button. Help the channel to grow. Like and comment. Turn on the notifications so you're aware when I post something new. Nick Anthony, Crack Benter, Broken. If you aren't mad, you aren't paying attention.